I'm Andra, and this is the first sketchbook that I ever finished. So for 2016, my New Year's resolution was to fill a sketchbook, which I had never done previously. And my birthday is actually pretty close to New Year's, so my friends, we got in a car and we went down. We drove an hour down in town, and we went to a nice art store. And this is one of the things they bought me, because they bought me a lot of art supplies for my birthday. So it's a Strathmore mixed media sketchbook. It's got 68 pages in it. It's just 34 sheets. You're actually supposed to take this page and tear it off, and this is the cover. But, yeah, I don't like it. The sketchbook's actually pretty worn down. I'm having a little bit of trouble with the spirals now. So I was so excited to fill this sketchbook. My birthday is actually at the beginning of January, but due to the snowstorms that we had then and our schedules, we didn't get this until like the very end of January. So this page is January 31st. So one of the things I got was a dip pen, and so I did this in dip pen, and then I watercolored over it. I asked my friends what they wanted me to paint, and my cousin's daughter said a chameleon, I think because she was watching Tangled. 2016, I was very inspired by Danny Gregory and just like urban sketching in general. So this is one that I did right after we went shopping. Well, I took a picture of it and I did it at home. Actually had like the table had this squiggle pattern and the floor had this check mark pattern, and they really clashed, so I didn't draw that in. But I did this with my dip pen too, and this is what everyone got in after. Went right around the block and there was a little store, a little cafe. And then this I was just hanging out at Starbucks by myself. I don't know what kind of paper it is. It's very smooth. But I painted this. I think this one was actually my drink, and then someone accidentally made the wrong drink, so the baristas gave it to me. Here's my watercolors, and then I had a bunch of little gifts from the, I guess, end of the year volunteer thing I did, I think. So there was a jar full of chocolates, a bag of candy, little donuts. There's my tools. Oh, it says, I got some treats from the MOPS moms. Guess I was working in MOPS then. Just mothers of preschoolers. It's a little kind of morning thing for new moms. Here's some sketches that I did. I also got ink for the very first time, so I was having a lot of fun with that. Actually, this is my first mixed media sketchbook ever. This was my favorite piece that I'd ever done for just the longest time. You probably recognize her from Pinterest because she was all over Pinterest then. That's the first watercolor I did in there. I remember it was February, and I was getting sick of the snow. Spent a long time on that one. These ones I did in ink, and then I watercolored over them. They're very cute. I like them. And then the art store I was at, I got a whole bunch of jelly rollers. It's just a sketch. More birds. This time on Canson paper. Some quotes from Danny Gregory, the books I was reading. One of them is, "Make the most of the page that lies open before you today." These ones I did, these two little ones I did at the library. This is actually a teacup we have. This is the first and last painting I did in gouache. It is a Steven Universe screenshot. And I painted it and decided I didn't like gouache. And I don't think I've really used gouache by itself since. This was a gentleman who was sitting at the library. There is a ship in a bottle, except it's a water bottle. That is a step-by-step watercolor tutorial, I guess, from a book. This one was a class that I taught, I think back in 2016 I started teaching an art class. Or is it was either 2015 or 2016? It's probably 2015. I don't know. But our class project was to take two pictures and fracture them together, and I actually lost my voice for a whole week. And I had to teach that class without a voice, and it was very interesting. I remember I was trying to get the other teachers to help me, and I wanted them to show the kids this book, a picture from a book, and I was trying to explain. I just wanted them to show the picture, and they were looking at it, and they were like, oh, I think this book's too advanced for some second graders. And I was trying to tell them that I just wanted them to look at the pictures, but I couldn't. There's a four-eyed deer I never finished. Some watercolor portraits. My mom got me this watercolor kit that she found at a thrift store, which is really fun. I can never, like, I always, whenever I go to the thrift store, I always look for good art supplies, and I've just never found any. She found this for me, and this is roughly the size that it actually is. It's just a little bit bigger. Some notes from a book I was reading, Rock Wall at the Rec Center. I remember I had to make a phone call, and I really did not want to make a phone call. And so I drew this owl that encapsulates my feelings at that time. And then you can see the 3 dots that I usually do in something. And I don't know when I started that, but you can see them there. I was testing watercolor paper versus this paper. And then we were going to do a project with poppies for art class, and so I was practicing there. I think you'll see more poppies in there later. This is my friend in her chair, crocheting with her dog in her lap. I wanted to do a whole bunch of these bubbles with ladies with windblown hair, so there's them. And then just some doodles. A study of Henri Matisse's portrait of Madame Matisse. That was another art class that I taught. I don't know if I made the kids do that. I don't remember. Okay, here's a good example. I always, a lot of times, especially back then, not as much now, but a lot back then, I would draw something. I'd absolutely hate it. I feel like I can never draw again, and I should never draw again. And then I would draw something really detailed, I guess. Something I just absolutely loved after. I was kind of upset though because I used masking fluid on it, and it dyed this part of her cream colored. It was supposed to be just black and white, and it's supposed to look very classical. And that happened. Oh, there's a unicorn. That's unexpected. Purple and yellow too. I actually kind of like that. This one I did Sea Lemon's April challenge back in 2016, and there's a drawing prompt for every day. And I believe I managed to do all of the days of April, but I don't remember what the prompts were. I think this one is like clouds. I think it was fish. I started this one in my house. Finished, worked on it at the library, and then worked on it at my sister's apartment too. This page may not look very special, but on this page I had a grand realization that the ink that I had been using, I don't know if you can see it, the ink I had been using like bled very easily. And all I did was switch inks and everything was better. Because I had been working and layering and trying to control the bleed that it was happening, and just as soon as I found out what it was, I dumped that ink out and I put Speedball ink in it. That's a very detailed feather, I guess. I think I used to paint a lot of feathers. More prompts, eyes, flowers, emoji. I remember I did not want to do emoji. I did not like that prompt. Pizza, space, so I drew Pluto. And I didn't want to draw like normal pizza, so I did like French bread pizza that I had while house sitting. That wasn't a prompt, but I really wanted to use this orange. I wanted to get something very orange and blue, so I decided to do an octopus. And I wanted to draw it coming out of a frame. I think this one was part of the prompt. I don't know if the prompt was pineapple or if it was just fruit. Oh, there's the poppies. The prompt was cat maybe, and then shoes. And then this one didn't turn out, but the finished piece did, and it turned out, and I loved it, and I lost it because I wanted to put it on the other side of the page. So I taught kids how to draw poppies in class. But I lost my finished piece. Can't remember what these were. I think this was either candy or favorite things, and this is my favorite chocolate. It's the Choco Love candy, and I love the milk chocolate. This one is hanging out at my grandma's house, and there's a giant snowstorm, and we couldn't go anywhere. And I spent a long time with the tiniest pen I had doing all this detail on there. See that on the tusk? Yeah, I like that one. More coal erase sketches, more prompts. I don't remember what they were. I used to do a lot of these fancy arrows with these swoops on them. And then there's more of the 3 dots. Dancer on a floating rock. And this is one of my favorites. It's the peach tea lady. And so it's a glass, obviously, and she's coming out. She's made of liquid, and she's got her little drink umbrella and a sun hat. This was in April, and I remember it was very snowy, and I was just ready for some sunshine. Sketches. I started this sketch, and one of my students started painting it, and we never finished it, but there it is. A little lighthouse and just copy paper. Coal erase. That was another April prompt. I don't remember what it was. It was lace, and I think this is one of my favorite pieces in here. And look at that hand, it actually turned out pretty good. So I lined her in purple coal erase pencil, and the rest is watercolor and gel pen. And so she gets on the crescent moon, and she's got the star. I was trying to get those to line up, but that's okay. Sketches, hand sketch. There's a guy and his, I think actually this is still April prompts, and this is shadow. And I remember hating it immediately after I drew it, but I think like his nose and his chin actually line up pretty well with his nose and his chin, just the shapes. I didn't like it in the end. I like the idea of it, but I don't like the execution, I suppose. Ink portrait. I messed up on her eyes, and so I did a swatch of black and I did gel pen over it. So I actually wanted to crochet an owl, and I couldn't find a pattern for an owl that I wanted, so I designed a few and actually made that guy, or something in between these two. And then these were studies of like doing dark, like, you know, those balls you draw, and then you do like a dark side and the light side. And I was trying to figure out how to use yellow and purple without getting brown. Don't remember what that list is for, but there's some cute hands right there. This is a view outside my window. It's an unfinished flower. More coal erase. Just a little sketch. Coal erase sketches. I think I was starting to lose interest in the sketchbook, and I was like, I'm never going to finish it. More sketches. I like that one. I remember I put my when I was drawing this guy, I put my sketchbook on a dirty table, and so got all this, I don't know if you can see it, but stuff on it. That's okay, because I don't really like her anyway. Here's another example of drawing something I absolutely hated, and then something that I liked and thought was pretty skillful after. So that's and that's okay. I like her. I like drawing wrinkles. There, I saw that while hiking. I decided to take a picture and paint it. I got a brush pen. These were designs for a wood pendant. This is almost the size it actually is. They're quite big. I'm kind of a little smaller. I would burn these pendants and I sell them. So that's one of the designs that I do. It's the most common design. More brush pen, owls. More designs. I actually made these into necklaces as well. This is a class I teach. I think I did this one as a step-by-step example for a few of the students. And the last page, there's a thumbnail for clouds. I wanted to do a cloud painting, and I never finished it, but I went for that composition. And then I decided to try out the tempera kids paint that we had in our art closet. And I decided I hated tempera and that I never wanted to use it again, and that my kids didn't have to use it even if they were in 2nd grade or any of the older kids. I teach a class for kids from I've done preschool all the way up to seniors in high school. I decided tempera kids paint was just not a good option for anybody. And so I decided we would never use it again, and we haven't. Anyway, that's how I feel about kids tempera paint. It's really hard to mix. I was trying to teach the little kids how to mix. It didn't work out well. All right. And then my back of my sketchbook's all beat up. All right, thank you for watching. So I have at least 2 or 3 more sketchbooks that I filled. So subscribe if you'd like to see those. Comment down below, tell me what your favorite page was. And like this video if you like. My favorite pages were probably the Moon Lady and Peach Tea, although I do like that one. Yeah. He's such a mood. All right. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. Just end it right there.